Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Chris is going to make these available commercially to everyone except Kirill. He's not allowed to use this.
We don't have international shipping, so he's going to have to find somebody in the U.S. that'll buy it and ship it over to him. So I think we're on the safe side for a while.
This little apparatus right here will be responsible for the first 750-pound bench press. So Eric's got it first.
Eric, tell us how that felt.
Oh, it felt absolutely great. My whole shoulders feel looser, more open. Probably the best they felt since the surgery. I want to lift right now.
All right, well, thanks. So it has an immediate day one impact as soon as you start grooving that pattern, just as we felt with Eric here. But the big thing is you use this over the next month, it's going to have a lasting impact, so that it becomes a maintenance piece where you walk in every day. You get out of bed, you're through your daily life, your shoulders are going to be healthier and better, and you're going to be working on strengthening. A lot of people think that this is a mobility or a rehab tool, but it is a huge, not only just a warm-up tool, but it's it fixes these things long term and allows you to strengthen all the muscles supporting that joint. It's a very complicated joint. There's a lot of movement that goes into that. So the plan for Eric here going forward is to do this at least 3 times a week, 10 per side over 3 sets. And I'd like him to do it more often than that, but that from a maintenance level will get you where you need to be. We're going to do this pre any pressing routines, and if you've got any heavy pressing routines, which you don't in the next month, but in the future, you could do that post as well to mitigate any damage that happens during that.
Perfect.
So that's the game plan. That sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, we're looking for big things from Eric in the future.
I really appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Chris Duffin here. We're at the Iron House Gym here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with bench pressing legend Eric Spoto. So Eric has recently had some shoulder issues, and he's going to talk a little bit about that.
Right.
And actually, I'll hand that over to you right now, Eric. So tell us what's been going on.
I had a rotator cuff surgery, so my supraspinatus rotator cuff was torn, and I had a labrum tear. And actually, while they were in there, I found another tear, a bicep and shoulder tear, which didn't even come up on the MRI. And they attached all 3. And first 3 months, about 10 weeks, I was straight immobilized, stuff like this. My shoulder just sunk down to nothing, and slowly been able to do stuff. And it helped me with a lot of rehab work, getting blood in there and moving it right. I'm starting to feel real strong, and really push that strength to get to back to where I was.
Now, why did they say that you had some of the issues there, Eric?
You know what? I called it the clavicle. They actually did an X-ray on it. They called it what's that called? The bone that actually goes down actually was pressing against my supraspinatus tear, and he said that probably predisposed it most likely to the injury. So they actually shaved the bone off, so it wasn't pressing against the supraspinatus tendon anymore.
So as you can see, Eric's got a lot of mass on him. He's one of the best bench pressers in the world, and arguably the best. I think somebody might have gone above you recently, but I don't.
Oh, real close.
Real close.
719.
So Eric still got it. Now, one of the things that we've talked about is that those pressing movements cause that shoulder girdle to really start tightening up. Some of the spaces start closing up there, and essentially that's what we've got going on. So what we've been doing behind the scenes, I've been helping Eric with his rehab plan post-surgery with a bunch of different movement drills, and a lot of it's meant to specifically target the rehab from the surgery, but we're also trying to deal with some of the root causes and work on both scapular mobility and scapular stability. And the next step now is we're going to start integrating that and getting those shoulders plugged back into the core so that we can fix this stuff from happening again or happening from the other side, so we can gain some shoulder health there and lengthen Eric's career so that we can see him bench more and bench longer, right? That's good stuff. So that's what we want to do. So the next step in the plan here is we're going to integrate the Shoulderok into the program, and we've got one here that Eric's been playing around with, and we came down this weekend, to refine the technique and step it up a step further.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Because I want to see, I want to see this guy move some more massive weights in the future. It's been inspiring seeing what he's done so far, and we want to get him to a point that he can set the standards even higher. So,
100%.
all right. Well, we need enough. I mean, I watched your swing before, and you were grooving it really nice. So we're just going to start doing the same thing that we were doing the stand.
We're gonna do this.
We're just gonna rock for a little while. Let's not worry about too much here. So what we're starting with here is just a pendulum motion, and this is to gain comfort with the bottom part of the movement and really learn some of the grooves before we jump into the whole pattern. And you want to think about trying to raise that weight as close to the floor as possible. The deeper you get it, the more we're gonna swing. But don't, as you know, don't flare out here, right?
It's almost stuck my core in.
Just so draw that.
Not be like this.
Yes, so try to separate the elbow from the rib cage, right? So you're separating those two. And now I want you to work on trying to bring that up a little bit higher so you can get my hand here. Good. Both sides. That is a very nice pendulum swing. You see that stand? Yeah. Really good height, really good control there. Okay. Okay. Let's take a break from that for a minute.
That's why you press 7, I press 6.
Exactly, right there.
I feel this.
So we were starting with the pendulum swing. That's just a really good way to learn to separate. You saw me cueing separating the elbows from the rib cage. So it's not, you can go deeper if you're doing this, but we're not really gaining any benefit there. Second piece is just learning that groove and learning how to feel the momentum and get it out. So we're gonna start with now with the pendulum swing again. And I just want you to work a couple until you feel enough that you've got enough momentum to actually just get it up over the top without doing very little to pulling. Okay, so we're gonna just go back and forth back there, and then get it high enough that it finally just comes right up over the top.
I'll let the momentum do the work.
And then engage the lat to pull it down into this position in front of you. But let's just start with the pendulum swing. And then work it higher and higher until you can get it all the way up over the top. Perfect. Boom. All right, start pulling it up a little bit sooner. There you go. And start working on pulling it all the way down in front. There we go. All the way down in front. All the way down in front. Boom. And just like that, we've got a swing. Good. Let's rest a minute and let's change hands. And we'll start the same way. We'll do the pendulum. So let's just rest a few minutes, let you catch your breath, and
It's like if you don't get enough momentum, I feel like I'm just fighting with my wrist.
You're doing this, and you're trying to pull it with some other things, and we want to cue these things to pull it in, but it should be already here, where you're just you're pulling it in. You're not having to try to yank it over the wrist body.
Just let it just.
If you're feeling excessive pressure in the wrists or the arms,
You did it wrong, huh?
you don't quite have the groove down there.
If it's opening you up this way, huh?
It's going to go out to the side in each direction, but it should never go beyond where you have control of it from that. That was really good work, Eric. And the key thing too is we're trying to do that long-term fix. We want you to come into the gym and not have to do a bunch of those warm-ups where you're going you just go, I feel good all the time with just a little bit of maintenance work. So want to give this other side a try?
So,
Let's do it exactly the
it's a
same way.
little more awkward this side. See?
That's exactly how it works too. I mean, you're offside, it typically takes a little while to a little bit more out to the side. Where's you drop back? There you go. There, that's
Yep,
beautiful.
100%.
Boom.
Yep.
There it is.
Oh, night and day.
And pull it all the way in. Yep. Boom. And get it out back out to the side as you're going down. Boom. Those elbows, try to get them all the way down beside you at the top. There we go. Now, so you should almost be able to pause if you wanted to at the bottom, at the top of each one. Good. You've done a lot there. So let's go ahead and stop. I like to do 10 one way, 10 the other. Rest a minute and repeat. Sometimes I may do 15 or 20 if I'm feeling pretty good. That weight looks like it's really good right for you. So you can add weight, or you can just leave it the same. It's really up to you to kind of play around a little bit with. I wouldn't go less than that. So this weight is getting you to open up, and we don't want to have too little weight. You just won't be able to do this swing here. So we've got, these are basically, this model that you got is a 9-pounder. I think the production model is going to be 8 pounds, and we've got 10 pounds of weight. So we've got 19 pounds right now, which is really good. That's what I train with. Sometimes I go a little bit heavier. I think I use about 25 pounds. So play around with it as you feel comfortable. You can add that up. Somewhere in 20 to 35 pound range will work well for you. Anywhere in there. So, but right now let's stick with this because we just want to continue to groove the motion. We want that blood flow. We definitely don't want to. There's no reason to push that any further. So we'll do this for the next 30 days, at least 3 times a week. Sure. If you're going for, well, you're not doing heavy bench sessions right now, so I would go for all of your pressing movements. Right. But as you start moving back into it, you've got that big PR where you can go ahead and do that post-workout to mitigate any of the tightness damage that we've done.
That felt actually great the other way. I was worried about the other way. It just felt awkward, and then by like the third swing, it felt great.
I think the actually starting with the pendulum and then moving into it helps that comfort level.
Yeah, and as long as you get that more swing, like you were saying, like when I was dropping it, then I'm like wristing it and fighting it instead of using the shoulder movement.
Yeah. So if you saw that on when the first few swings, he was sticking it back too far and just adjusting, just a minute difference, and all of a sudden the swing.
And I was just fighting it this way instead of letting the shoulders pull it. I felt it.
So the last piece we want to do is really focus on. Let's walk through the breathing stuff. This is stuff we work with on stand on. So we're starting to get a pretty good groove on the swing. I think within a few sessions, even without my coaching at this point, he's going to have this running really smooth. So the next step, this is where we try to fix the root cause of what we're doing wrong in the pressing world. And like we said, this is how we want to get Eric to benching 750 pounds. So what we need to do is plug the shoulder into the core. And that's going to fix a lot of these things that are going wrong. So first, we're going to do some breathing stuff to teach him the position. He won't have to do that afterwards to gain the position. This is really just a method for cueing and allowing him to feel what these positions are like. So what I want you to do is stand here and I want you to push every last drop of air out of your belly, out of your lungs. So just forcibly exhale everything. Out, out, out. More. Push every last piece of it. Okay. Feel this rib. You feel it. Look at this. You feel this tightness through here. Okay. You feel this rib cage position. See how that's locked in? He's not pushing this down. He's not pushing down. It's actually pulling down, isn't it? You're actually. Yeah, right. It's actually drawing the rib cage down. Do you feel that? Yeah. But it pulled it in while it was drawing it down, and then we had great tightness. This is called bracing. So this is what we want to do while we're doing the movement. So we're actively moving the shoulders through its entire range of motion, engaging all the supporting muscles of the shoulder and strengthening them. And we do all that while having it plugged into the core. And that's what gets this working together properly and stops that downward spiral of shoulder mobility and shoulder health issues. So we're working on that while strengthening. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. So you're not going to want to do this forceful exhale while you're doing this stuff. So now let's just engage that position. So actually, let's do the same thing. Forcibly exhale again. And then once you get to the bottom, I want you to actually hold that position and then take a breath into it. Okay? Now breathe deep into the belly while you're doing it. And see, you breathe in and out. Just go ahead and breathe in. And you notice he's breathing in and out and he's holding this position. Look, we're pretty tight in here, and this is actually one of the ways I check. I'll hit it. You should be tight. That's called Okinawan strength, where you can karate chop. That's actually a great cueing mechanism. If you're feeling like you've got a soft spot somewhere, is to actually go, God, I've got this, but this oblique over here is just not firing right. Hit it. I kid you not. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it.
Once it's
and
fired,
and once you hit it,
yeah.
it's automatically, this is a great cueing technique, it's going to tire that up. So we want bracing, that solid, rigid strength, combined with good, that diaphragm pulled down, pulling that ribcage down. And then as we're doing the swing, we just separate this and this. So as long as you just hold this position, you can breathe, you can do the movement, but you keep that in while you're doing it, and that's going to pull this all together.
So it's like the preset, you get in that position, and then during the movement, you can still take breaths, and you never really
Yeah, you just, so here, I'm doing this, let's say I'm doing the swing, I'm talking, I'm breathing,
Right.
I've got all this, you notice I'm not flaring, it's rigid and solid right now.
Never release.
And I'm talking, and this is it. So you just engage it. What we did was just a drill to teach you what that feels like, because some people, if you say, hey, pull the ribcage in, they go,
Right.
well, that is not what we're looking for at all.
Right.
So it's just it's just a cueing method. So. Okay, let's do a couple more swings.
You want to start with the pendulum?
Let's start with the pendulum again. And then swing it up so you can start swinging through. And then hold that rigid core while you're doing it. Good. Out to the side. And you can see as he's doing this, that lack of flare. Look how tight that core is as he's doing this. This is perfect. Now we're going to get that those shoulders plugging into the core. Okay. Remember to pull those elbows down beside you there. Good, right there. But keep going out to the side. There we go. Whoa, nice deep swing. Perfect. Nice deep swing. Good.